obsessed with productivity.
Being very, very productive.
I learned a productivity system that's helped me
No,
organize
this
my
is
life.
all wrong. Who wants to live like that? Who wants to live their life trying to optimize every second? What? Do I need to take a stopwatch to time my bathroom breaks too? I don't want to live like that, do you? They're complicating this way beyond what it needs to be. All things equal, life expectancy in the modern age is about 73.4 years old. So anyway, you want to live your life? Sure, that works, but I think it's most important to make it as sustainable as possible. And since my analytics are telling me that most of the people here are between 18 to 30 years old, we need to determine how we want to live our life for the next, I don't know, 50 years-ish? My back! Let's not make it complicated, that would defeat the entire purpose of this video. So how about I just give you the 20% that actually worked for me so we can get 80% of the results. Great, so for everyone here, there is one thing in their life that is most important to them. It gives them the most value, enjoyment, fulfillment, and purpose. And since this is a business channel, I'm sure you can probably guess what it is for me. And if you don't, I have this video that you can watch for that. But back to the point. So how do we tie it into the 20% concept from earlier that we talked about? Well, it's to think about the one most important goal that we have right now. And I'm not gonna dance about it. The most important thing right now for me is to make as much money as possible until I reach my goal. It might sound greedy, but it's not. The answer is here. Sorry to direct you to another video, but it's necessary. And to do that, I have to find the one thing that is hindering my business from performing as well as I wanted to. And because recently I've had a few breakthroughs when it comes to generating leads, which, okay, I promise this is the last time it was in that video, I was able to fix that problem, which left the execution part. Notice that I am saying the one thing because that one thing will give me most of what I want. Sure, I could do other things like putting up the website, trying to make my engagement a little more, making it a little better worded. But that isn't the most important thing. Creating more lead magnets and reaching out to more people is, because that will generate income. That's all well and dandy, partner, but how is it related to the title and life expectancy thing? Did you clickbait us? Oh, I could never. Just give me a moment. The point of the title and thumbnail was that to be truly productive is that we need to prioritize the things that will give us the most output. And for me, that's lead magnets and reach outs. And that's where that comes in, and it relies on a few fundamental assumptions. In the book Deep Work by Cal Newport, which is a great read by the way, I've based a lot of my routine on it, but the crux of it relies on that our ability to put 100% into something is unfortunately very limited, despite how much we wish it wasn't, and so we need to best determine how to use that very limited bandwidth that we do have. Meaning to eliminate every possible distraction that could interfere in that sacred time. It means you don't put a boundless amount of time on a task, but just put it about under the time that you think you need to get it done. I think it broke. Or just as the book calls it, a Roosevelt Blitz intensity. That's why I love this thing so much. It's by far one of the best, cheapest purchases I've ever made. Well, I loved it. I hope it still works. Sometimes the smallest things can have the biggest effects for us, and it's still been that way for me, valuing downtime and rest. Because I'm sure we've all had that shower moment where we had a brilliant idea or figured out the solution to a problem. Can't really do that if you're working 16 hours a day. Because in reality, you only have really about 4 or 5 hours of intense, focused work before we're pretty much empty. And that's at the very best case scenario, so how do we get the most out of those very few hours? Well, for me, the first 2 hours of my days are pretty much the same. I wake up, take a walk, have a coffee, come back, exercise, take a shower. That gets me at my sharpest so I can make the best videos possible for you guys, and also of course develop my business. By again using the 80-20 rule. Most situations are helped rather than hurt by it. That means going after the 20% of the leads I think will be the most quality for my business. Doing the 20% of the most important parts of the lead magnet so I can have the best impression and effect on the client. And then just repeat and rinse that process again and again and again. But when the clock hits 5, we're done for the day. You implement the finishing up routine, just take notes on where you are right now and the outline for what you need to finish tomorrow, because that's also when the electricity cuts off from 5 to 7, and by then I'm too tired to do anything. But like I've learned myself, don't push yourself too hard. Success doesn't need to be instant, and oftentimes the slow one is the best possible outcome. And this video tells you why. But if you're trying to get into a journaling habit and you're curious about the effects that might have for you, then I have this for you too. I have some goodies in the description. I appreciate a sub if you can, and bye!